one. That is not what KT were looking for, as Feats of Warfare come in as well at the same time.
Yeah, it looks like a bizarre decision-making call there from Zeus to go in with the exhaust there, but I think he dies no matter what, so just wants to commit in with the flash there. Some up and down performances on the Leona throughout his career, so I think the individual performances here, I'll hold that thought, perfect.
Yep. Grand Starfall comes in, Perfect is not going to be getting out of this one. Stun lasted for what felt like forever, and down he will go. That is Peanut locking that one up. Cuz going to move in.
This is a nice buffer again here from Viper. He has a matchup advantage and he just doesn't care. Still has ult, by the way.
Yep. And there is the Slicing Maelstrom. Doesn't exactly do too much here as Cuz moves in, but will get stunned at exactly the right time. Zeus avoids the slowdown, but still he is going to be dead. An assist going over to this Gwen is good as well. But BDD dies on the bottom side of the map as Zeka throws some rocks into him, and Delight feels like he's exactly where he needs to be all game long.
I think BDD might have been able to flash that engage, but we'll have to look back in the replay and see. He does have his flash available. Decided to try to use his ult instead. Is punished here, so what looked like it was a great start for KT does kind of backfire. They are able to get the first turret, which is pretty huge.
Kind of a big deal. Denies Feats of Strength going down immediately as well.
Yeah, pretty significant. We'll see who gets that next objective. The Herald has spawned, so...
On this Rift Herald first. We'll keep things up in the air unless Peanut can get a nice smite. Zeus is moving in, Slicing Maelstrom available as Cuz goes in before Zeus can get into the right position. Still, he goes down extraordinarily fast as well. Doctarm wanting to set up the curtains, and he's not going to be able to do so as HLE should be able to take down Shelly here. And there is not going to be a response now that the jungler is down for KT. It is bad to worse here for the roller coaster.
Doctarm, man, remember there's a Pantheon on the other team who's being very aggressive with his positioning. Is looking for a pick on Delight.
Yeah, Charm goes in. Peanut's here though, and Zeus is also moving over. Solar Flare going to get a stun, but Delight just, it seems like he presses any of his buttons and someone dies in this game. And BDD takes a shuriken to the face and does not want that, as this cannon is so incredibly strong. He's still around here wanting to stop Peanut from having a good time, but Peanut is not going to worry about it at all.
Yeah, empowered recall for Zeus means he was never in any danger. Zeka's going to get this turret, and look where Zeus goes, just straight to the bottom lane, which I don't know if we'll watch because we have the Drake being taken alive. We are going to watch it. It's just, you gave Delight an engage, basically, and he's like, well, thank you very much. And Zeus can still follow up. He's very fast on this cannon, and he picks up another kill, so KT just biting off way more than they could chew in that situation.
Well, Viper was driving Shelly there for a moment.
What's that was set up by laning. And Viper's looking to steal.
Yeah, Weaver's Wall comes on in here as KT are in so much trouble. Doctarm able to flash himself away though, and there are some knockups. Zeka going down low. Peanut as well will be taken out. And this is not the engage they were looking for. You're going to need maybe another exhaust here for this cannon, but no, never mind. It's a double kill, and this is the HLE we've been waiting for all game.
There it is. There's the overextension. There's the happy gaming. But he doesn't even necessarily need it. BDD does not, so he can't even be here.
Well, Doctarm is going to be able to throw in some grenades here. Delight taking a little bit of damage is perfect. Moving on over. True Shot Barrage not going to hit the mark. As Cuz, if they want to get something done, he's going to have to get in there pretty dang soon. I think he's going to be able to get there, and it's the steal away. Peanut also going to get blown up by that bullet. And HLE lose their jungler and the fight for the Otacon.
Yeah,
and
100%.
KT are given the ability to decide when they want to engage. Delight was low. KT did their homework. It worked out, and HLE didn't have to really do that. As now, Infernal Soul on the table. Peter taking a lot of damage and will just blow up. The exhaust comes out from beyond the grave, but now 4 versus 5. This is not how KT want to be doing this, and so they're going to have to give up the Infernal Soul. We're pretty sure, as now Peanut with a little bit of a shield wall, and I don't know whether Cuz is going to be able to get in here and take this one out, as Deadly Flourish almost gets it done, and now Charm is going to connect. Over the wall goes BDD, managing to find one. The resets are starting to come in, but Zeus gets over the wall. BDD in so much trouble, and he will be able to get the Fox Lady. They are representing a lot of damage. Cuz gets over, finds a Cyclone onto Viper here as Peanut comes in, but Peter doesn't get the Solar Flare, looks for the Shield of Daybreak. He flashes in between 2 walls and is feeling very uncomfortable. We'll get a bit of a shield here though, as Delight still looking for a little bit of an angle. The Magna Storm is decent. There goes Peter finally, but they trade it for Delight immediately. And now Peanut gets in there, blows up the monkey very, very quickly, but he might actually be sacrificed for it. No, BDD not able to quite get there. Doctarm and BDD trying to stop Zeka from just murdering them. Look at this. The amount of damage this Talia does is kind of absurd. as Doctom walks forward, gets that last bullet, and then says, no, I don't think I have very much more left in the chamber.
Is just like, I can clean up if we need to if fight actually breaks out. But now side lane control goes to Hanwha Life Esports as KT couldn't lock down Vision, and that's a free turret. They used the Elder to grab a turret.
Yep.
Potential trade opportunity.
Oh, Doctom could be in trouble here, but does have the Ghost Blade, gets himself out. Still 50% gone on that health bar as Cuz looking to try and get out of the way. Viper just playing gatekeeper right now as Peter. I don't think he's allowed to be there, as the curtain call is just not in position to save his Leona at all, and she will just go down. Unfortunate there as Peter just caught a little bit too far up.
Yeah, I'd love to see a vision toggle because it almost feels like that would have been a misclick from Ductar. Maybe they just had no vision of anyone else and we're like,
yeah, I think Elder. They needed to check the Elder is what it looked like there as Doctom flashing preemptively as Zeus finds the flank angle. The Elder down to 50% health. And
I think it's just gonna go. I think it's just gone unless Cuz gets a Miracle Steal. He has Flash.
I mean, he's Wukong. He's pretty tricksy, as they'll need to get some vision in there if they ever want to find anything. In the end, what they do is just nothing. And now the Weaver's Wall going to break this one up. Viper gets over the wall, but look at this. The Dragon is angry, and it eats two immediately. BDD now going to be the next target here as Cuz is flying the wrong direction. And now Viper, realizing that he can just Arcane Shift forward, will just take down the Ahri. Peter is going to respawn and wonder what the heck he's respawning into because the Angry Dragon comes down from the sky once again. And KT, unfortunately, will not be able to fight back at all. They just lose, and that will be their Nexus going down. HLE, yeah, they gave them a couple of opportunities, as they like to do, but this is, in the end, pretty elementary.
Yeah, they certainly want to get, okay.
Zeus just doing the going in thing as the Dragon comes down. That is going to be the ace.
All right, well, they wanted to wait for minions is why they were standing there, is what I was going to say, but they also wanted to wait for champions to come out of the fountain to kill them, and then kill the Nexus, which rate of flashes, but you feel fantastic about this one. So they're going to look for a redive. I don't know about this.
Well, if at first you don't succeed, try again, everyone. That's what you're supposed to do. As
he lives.
Almost goes down. Perfect is going to be able to get the rest of these minions.
To the Jace, so Zeus picks up an even larger lead here in this matchup. And this was the matchup I was most unhappy about in terms of what they did with this draft.
Yep. I mean, it's a rough matchup, but we do see Scions just picked so that they can exist and then be more valuable later. He's also able to get some grasp procs here, which is kind of nice.
Resistance shred on his Gatling gun. Doctom.
A little bit of a tag there from Doctom onto Zeus. Only level 5. Spear going to miss, as we can see, but the sidestep has to come in, so Zeus knows he will not be able to get away. Frost shot just a little bit too strong, and Doctom able to put down the Jace. That is great here for KT.
It was hype earlier this season. They got a pentakill on Ashe in the Scion composition. If you have that front to back, it is very strong.
Oh yeah, Peanut in a little bit of trouble here as the Impale just avoided on both sides. Gorgeously played here by KT. The takedown not quite enough as Peanut pushes Cuz into the wall. Peter is following them though as the Winter's Bite comes down. Viper cleanses the slow. They get rid of the Victor, and now Cuz has pounced back in. The drive-by onto the Scorpion. And what's like, KT, how are they all still alive?
I mean, they just played it so well there, and Peanut gets caught in the jungle. All the attention there in the middle of the map around Peanut's jungle. There's no attention here to the bottom side, but Perfect has held his own.
Yeah.
Will actually even make Zeus tanky turret shot there, but
away here by Perfect, but I don't think he misses out on too much. Deathray is able to clear up the backline pretty comfortably now. And so I think that the Victor is going to be A-OK. Peanut moving in, looking for a little bit of a target. The arrow going to come on through here from Doctom, but there are a lot of bad guys in this area, and he is just dead. Cut down by the piercing arrow. Nicely played there by Viper. Cuz gets here a little bit too late as now BDD and Zeus are fighting. Perfect will show up though. Roar the Slayer to slow him down. The flash comes in, but the rocket is prepared.
Maybe you were onto something today, Atlas.
Well, I did say it had to be a 2-0, so KT would definitely still be disappointing if they win.
If they lose game 1, the only way to make that 50-50 is to win game 2.
Oh, yeah, and then we're up to a fresh 50-50 from that point on, I guess.
Zeka is in trouble and likely dead.
He is, yeah, definitely big time not alive.
The reason why that last play happened, too, we'll probably get a replay of, man, Zeka, he looked unhappy about what went down just there. He turned the tide, but the mid lane was controlled by Perfect. He pushed the wave in, then they made a play bottom side where they basically tempted Zeka to go down, right? They like drew him in, Peanut had that opportunity there, and then they got away.
It looked like a lot of other Skarners we've had in the LCK. It just doesn't feel like it's the same power level as Zeka. Zeka is really going to struggle to get out of the way of this one. Peanut's going to move over, but it looks like with a flash, it is going to work out here for Zeka, and the kitty cat going to get closed in on by Viper, who locks down yet another one.
Because he was able to outplay the Impale last time, but not this time.
That looked really close.
It was
actually
really close. Zeus in this top lane matchup as well as BDD.
Yeah, he's going to have to find a direction to Valkyrie. Does so. Magical Journey comes on through. The flash forward from Delight gets the flash out from BDD. And the Arcane Storm comes in. Will he have his Valkyrie available? The answer is he doesn't need it because he's got a Braum coming up. As Perfect has just gone Battle Scion now. As he won't find the Roar of the Slayer, but does hit a little Q onto Zeus. The flash forward. Spear will connect. And Cuz able to get on over there to at least watch him go down.
All right, Zeka's going to get a turret in exchange here, but that is a massive win. And the Scion starting to really come online here as well after that play. You can see Peter is up on the top side of the map to deny any sort of rotation over. Peanut seen on this ward. Yep. No backs will be stopped, so great play there. Going to get this Herald as Hanwha Life scramble to try to make a cross map happen in the bottom side of the jungle where Zeus has prio there. And
Soul
they're
point
not really
in 40 seconds as well. If they get the Herald, use that to crash mid, they create so much added control.
I mean, Zeka went for Blackfire Torch first, which is not going to help him in the side lane really at all. I mean, look at him pushing the bottom lane. I think they're just simply going to give this up. I mean, he can TP in, but it's going to be very awkward to force a fight.
And you never want to give it up. You never want to let him down, Wolf.
No.
But it's what's going to happen this time around. Peanut not going to be able to get in there, and Cuz should be able to lock this one through. There it goes. And now Zeus could be in trouble. Remember, Perfect doesn't have the ulti, but he's still so sticky, able to slow down this chase. He's walking the wrong direction, and BDD, if Perfect doesn't have the damage, BDD definitely does.
It's just kind of bizarre decision-making in that moment. I understand the idea of just letting the Drake go and trying to push Zeus into the side, but he, of course, is on vision. Somebody has to come shadow him at least if you're going to give the Dragon. He has no idea where they are.
Yeah, and whoever has the vision has so much control because they have all of those poke tools. HLE going to move in, but they're not going to be contesting this Cloud Soul. As Peanut wanting to set up for a potential Impale. He'll find a Braum who has the door up. They still manage to take him down though as the Tempered Fate will connect onto Cuz. Great double knock up here as now Zeus is out of the fight and BDD is so incredibly big. Viper unable to stand and deliver with these auto attacks. And KT, they've got the Cloud Soul. They had to sacrifice Peter.
They just cannot stay.
Yeah, and the reason, okay, never mind. We've got a bit of a fight here as Delight is already very dead. Peanut crashes on forward, but the turret is going to go down. And now Zeus off on a flank angle is going to nail Doctom with that Shock Blast, actually picking the gap there quite beautifully.
Line here for Doctom. It's going to go fast.
Yep, information goes over though, so HLE, they know what's up. And Delight can throw down the Peter. Arrow is going to connect onto Peanut, sorry. And they get rid of him. Great knock up there just to make sure that the Skarner is not getting out because this could equal Baron time as well, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, that was so well played. Peter goes over there, identifies exactly where the Skarner is. They put an arrow on him. He can't steal. And that's Otacon. Viper, where are you going?
Well, the train has left the station and so has Viper. They do get a fantastic Tempered Fate, but the Arcane Storm does absolutely nothing. Perfect just gets into the mix, but Zeus takes out Peter. It's a noble sacrifice though. And down goes Viper as well, who was just a little bit of an Owen Wilson there behind enemy lines. Not able to get it done. KT, they'll go back to what they wanted to do before, and they have had a monopoly on these objectives, only losing out on, I think maybe, no, nothing.
That's
actually
fine.
Nothing. Every neutral objective has gone to KT this game.
Yeah, though, every single one. That sign that we keep showing is this, Cuz has to live for KT to live.
and they don't have cards. That's how it kind of works.
Yeah, but it's, or more or less.
Yeah, so it's a rough time. Let's just say that as far as objectives are concerned and extra stats and stuff like that. So well coordinated.
Yeah, and it's like
every every arrow that comes out is followed by like a smite happening, and Peter is now caught, but he flashes away. It's a different story here. Is now Peter. I'm not sure about that one, Peanut, but The Tempered Fate not really doing anything for HLE's benefit. KT had just spared some turret shots.
It's KT also in this game where they're constantly holding on to the control. You know, they're never letting it go. They're taking a lead and pushing it so well. And we haven't seen KT get as many leads as they'd like to, especially some of the early game drafts they've picked. But this time, they were able to get it early, and they just won't let it go. And I'm not making any errors. Zeka, on the other hand, is making a big error here.
Yep. There is an Elder Dragon. Some bounty gold coming on through here, but there's the dragon comes down from the sky. Winter's Bite is pretty powerful. And Ice Blows procced, and that is the main wave clear now dead. KT are just marching it up this bottom lane. And this is even more decisive than game number 1.
And I stand by. I don't think this draft was better for KT, but sometimes comfort can be enough, man. And Perfect on this tank, Cuz on his Nidalee, Ductum on his iconic Ashe.
BDD on this Corki that he's like dominating on, watching him Valkyrie over this base gate, looking like he's having the best time ever.
Sometimes if you're just the better team.
Yep. BDD just walking the dog, man. Look at him go. There it is. Taking down the Jace. Peanut going to get snagged by the arrow, and it doesn't matter how many times he gets Mikhails, he is still dead. Down goes Viper as well. It's a double kill here for BDD on the 9-0-4 Corki. There goes the Nexus, and KT, they'll take game number 2. Don't ask me what it means, but it was an impressive game from KT.
Will KT be
missing? And Perfect is just going to go down. That is first blood going over to Viper of all people.
From Viper.
All right, Peter going to get a snare onto Delight. He doesn't have a large health bar as he goes up into the sky, but the Spider does have to come down. So that is going to be a kill going on over to Cuz. A pretty happy Jarvan here who does want to get accelerated in this game.
So now there's no one dealing with top, although Zaya should be able to catch some of these.
God,
and
the
it's just
skin
a free
is so
dragon.
cute as well. The Ghoulie cat wall.
Yeah, I mean, it's the only Yorick skin you're allowed to play it.
It's pretty good. There have been some real weird ones that we've seen. I don't know whether that just makes him a gardener or something, but I don't know.
I feel that way when I clean a litter box in the morning.
Yeah, well, Peanut feels that way right now as he is in a little bit of trouble, but the rest of his team's here to try and defend him. Good flash out from Cuz, but Zeus there to defend him immediately. Great knockup from the Fates Call, though, and they execute the Ambessa. And now Delight just has to try and bail out of it. But look, Zeka is also losing a trade here in this mid lane. And it's not over yet. There's the Cocoon landing, the Ren to slow down Delight. And a flash forward from Peter. He's not giving this Spider any way out. And KT back on the board in a big way.
Yeah, things and be a 5-man unit that only comes around once in a while.
Yep, Delight gonna have to flash immediately here as well. They turn the Cocoon onto him because Delight knows that he has no other way out. And it is now just the Goon Squad, man. They're just moving around, looking to try and take down everyone that they can find. It is going to be one of the grubs being taken here, but that is still going to be feats of strength able to go over to KT, or at least a third of one. As now Perfect just back into domination position here.
And KT will take the rest of the grubs, so at least Peanut was able to get one. He's also kind of hanging around here because Zeka has prio.
And it used to be that taking one of the grubs felt really good because you denied like the objective and all that sort of stuff.
Some pretty good plays so far this game already.
Yep.
Viper.
Oh dear. Well, Pop Blossom is going to come on through there, and Peanut comes on over, but Viper is already dead. So Peanut gets in there, throws out a thing, and then says, no, I will leave. And does so. Now Cuz coming on over, gets the flash out of Zeka, and then puts him in the Cataclysm. And he's just waiting for some way to get out. He is going to be able to do so as, oh my goodness.
Don't do it!
That's a tilt. Don't do it! He hits it with a flag and takes down the Azir.
You're just not that safe. Like, Delight has died 3 times this game, getting caught or basically trying to bail somebody else out who was caught. Because it's more valuable for him to die than somebody else. But either way,
they'll quite get here in time if they do decide to go for the dive. The shovel comes out as Peanut. Let's see whether they can actually finish him off before this bottom lane arrives. Peanut having to flash because the Ghoulie Wall caught him in a very awkward scenario. And Cuz, of course, going to get on in here. Public Execution comes down, but Cuz, eyes on the prize, and is going to be able to take down the overgrown Poro. Peanut nowhere to go and will just be eviscerated. So Cuz continues the onslaught. 4-0, not over. And this turret, it's going to go down. So that'll be first turret going over to HLE. That's going to give them a legitimate gold lead at this point in time. As KT look to grab themselves a Rift Herald. Yep, let's see whether KT are going to get the memo or not, as there's the Glacial Prison. The combo comes in, Tibbers goes down as well, but just manages to kill the Ambassador. They go 1 for 1, but it is still HLE with control of the river. That was pretty sexy, I have to say. As 4 versus 5, Perfect is still in the bottom lane, and Peter is not going to be stealing anything away with a Blooming Burst.
Somehow we're able to just walk up and start this Dragon.
Yep, Rift Herald is just going to take down the mid-outer turret, and that is the price that KT are going to have to pay for Soul Point. I think they'll probably pay it gladly, as they will get another charge. Maybe not quite as glad, as we'll see whether a Ghoulie Wall is going to come on through. It's not.
Delight's going to just zoom away with his dash cannon, but I think for KT, you're very happy because, well, it might be happier.
Yeah, Viper is just going to get cataclysmed. Flashes out of that one. Does definitely have to do so as the Fates Call comes in. Peter finds the Pop Blossom, and down goes Peanut.
Here for free, and KT got an objective without having to fight. And I think they're super happy with that, because no matter what, they would not have been able to fight for that Dragon had Hanwha Life Esports just not set up for it. They were so late to drop the Herald. Sure, they traded for turrets, but top laner that is definitely felt here for KT Rolster.
Ooh. Peter in a little bit of trouble, but now it's Cuz actually that is almost just taken out, and in fact the burn will be enough. Viper locks down the kill in the end. And losing your jungler right now, a pivotal moment here with the Otacon available, and HLE, they could get an absolutely massive advantage by taking this down, and they know it. They're going to get on the objective immediately.
Yeah, and for KT, you just have to index into trying to take out these turrets, but the mid turret is so healthy.
Yeah, Public Execution brings AS over the wall there as the Fates Call is going to bring back Peter. Maybe a little bit overly enthusiastic there from the top laner, but still, the Otacon goes down. And that is just stats and experience that KT will not be able to get themselves.
And that's significant because, like you said, this Dragon is KT's only thing to fight for. They're catching players.
This would be a better kill, as there's the flash forward from Doctom. So many sticks, and down he goes.
Uh-oh.
Right before the Dragon. And I said the last kill could potentially impact the Dragon. It turns out, yes, it could, especially if he dies again as the flash Tibbers. The repel does come on in though. Peter with the Pop Blossom is fantastic. Empress Divide from Zeka, but he's so low. Perfect's going to be able to get on top of the Azir, and Cuz is still fighting. Doctom is massive. Delight manages to get out. Viper as well, but they're not going to be stopping this Infernal Soul. KT?
I mean,
really?
they might have done it, Atlas. I mean, I still think that Zeus is 1-4 in this game. Went Edge of Night. Interestingly enough, didn't notice that until now, but finally hoping to get that mid turret. This route onto Peanut will certainly help.
Yeah, KT with eyes on the prize actually able to get this early rotation over, and the bear comes down. Delight in a lot of trouble, but does go up into the sky to keep himself alive. Perfect there with the shovel, able to take this one down as Cuz is battling against Zeus. Zeus gets into the mix, but is immediately taken down. The culling will be cancelled, and that is not the right Nico. Zeka throws out the Emperor's Divide, but it's very defensive, but maybe it's defensive enough as Viper just going ballistic. Doctom gonna go down, and there is the KT throwaway. Ladies and gentlemen, HLE, they picked their moment, and this was about the last chance they had.
Viper said, you know what? I will clean up the fight. I will pop off at the end of it. All those low health bars. Viper goes in for the chase. And once again, Viper will clean up HLE's mess. And KT will not be the first team to punish what has been otherwise a very shaky HLE. And the 11th time in a row. I mean, HLE now going up to 12 wins.
All right, there are 2 minions here. There are a lot of minions here. So Peter, he's going to do his very best to try and defend this, but I don't think he's going to be able to do it. As now BDD comes over, he's flashing forward. Okay, half the health bar on the Nexus. Can they keep it alive is the question, as Viper needs another couple of shots, and it's Zayn that has to do it. The Nexus survives. We are in this game for at least a little bit longer as the counter race comes in.
What an insane game this is turning out to be.
Does nothing as well.
The Emperor's Divide from Zeka denies it, and Viper just follows through, and he and Zeka do clean up house. And it's Hanwha Life getting the full ace if he's given enough time, but
BDD is looking to spot that one out. As you can see here, HLE had started this one up, but BDD has found Delight. He spotted out. It was a cunning ruse, but it's not going to quite work out. There is now Viper looking for Cuz. He just flags and drags and gets himself out. And now Fate's Call going to come on through. Down goes the Nico, but can KT actually find an angle as Peanut goes down? Now the only smite is over the side of KT. The flash forward, down goes Viper. Delight, can you save the game? The Nexus turrets are respawning, and he cannot kill them. Oh no, no, the itsy bitsy spider, he went up the spout, but he didn't read the patch notes.
Oh no, Delight didn't track those Nexus timers. Down he goes here. BDD scouting that flank from Delight, scouting it out, punishing him, then TPing into the fight. And Hanwha Life, I think they tried to get a little bit too tricky here. And KT Rolster in a great position to try to end this game now. However, Viper up in 3. They can't kill the Nexus, but maybe they can win a fight with Elder.
Yep, I mean, they've got the Elder Drake, right? So they should be in a good position to win a fight, but it's going to have to be an honest 5v5 to light up in 2 seconds' time.
Peter is holding the mid wave. There is a ward in the main base. Zeus' teleport's coming back soon, so and maybe Hanwha Life could just stave off the pressure for 30 more seconds here.
Yeah, it's going to have to be a lot of mitigation here from HLE as the mid inner turret does go down like you were talking about.
Viper's ult.
Yeah, that's just to try and clear out the wave as best they can. HLE is still formidable from here as we can see, but it is going to cost them the inhibitor no matter what. Now the fight is attempted to be started.
BDD got back without using teleport, so he can teleport back into the fight after he defends this.
Well, Tibbers does go down. Man, the Pyroblast doing a lot of damage there as Zeka has to run away from an angry Tibbers.
Okay, they're going to now use this Kalista to try to rush down this Baron. They have all that extra Rin damage. They have essentially 2 smites here. BDD can TP in straight into the middle of this fight, but he's chasing Zeka now.
Yep, Zeus has a good angle as Viper is hitting mainly the Baron right now. The Culling not doing a whole lot of work as it is going to be the Baron secured by KT. And HLE, they're pausing. They're not quite sure what they want to do in this moment. Fate's Call going to be committed to.
Zeus doesn't commit to anything. He just sits on the flank, doesn't actually commit in.
He makes the, the Ghoulie Cataclysm Venn diagram. Maybe that's how you do it.
Zeus this time unseen. This time unseen. They don't know where he is. BD wants to check. Blast Cone taken away. He knows he's likely there.
Yeah. He is now over the wall. He can use this Blast Cone, gets in behind the rest of his team.
Is this just checkmate?
Besser is wrapping around. Now it's just going to be a 50-50. Peter goes golden, breaks an arm guard there as the Maiden getting amongst it. And it's Koz that takes down the Elder. Peter will find the Pop Blossom before going down. And Zeus is having to flash out of there. BDD gets over, destroys the Lucian. The Emperor's Divide goes down, but you cannot divide by Dragon. And KT will get the ace, and they are going to win this game.
I think in this series, Cuz showing up big. They've been calling him the Dragon Slayer, and he slayed the biggest of them all to end